in a week or so, Election Day, you're going to get a chance to vote on Amendment 7, which is a tax increase for transportation, a sales tax increase for transportation. To talk about why it's a good idea, Jewel Paddock joins us. Jewel, you are a spokesperson for the Missourians for Safe Transportation. Welcome to Big 550 KTRS.
Morning.
All right. First, what is the sales tax increase going to be?
Well, it's a 3/4 cent sales tax. It's to fix our roads and bridges in Missouri, and if you drive much, you know that we have a terrible need for improving both the safety and the quality of our transportation system in the state of Missouri.
We had Joe Miller on last week, or maybe earlier this week, from the Show Me Institute, advocating why this is a bad idea. He says that roads aren't as bad as people think, and it's a misnomer, that Missouri roads are actually pretty good.
Well, I'm not sure where he's driving, but 60% of all our bridges in the state of Missouri are either rated fair or poor. We've got the average age of bridges in Missouri are 46 years old. 2,000 are obsolete and need to be either replaced or repaired. Missouri has the 7th largest transportation system in the country and the 45th lowest funding source for it. So I appreciate that maybe he's able to find a good road in Missouri, but overall our system's in poor shape and needs to be, and we have a lot of fixes to be made.
How much money is this going to cost an average family of 4? What are those numbers?
Well, honestly, it depends on how much you make and how much you spend. We've, taken great care to exempt out the necessities of life. So if you go to the grocery store, prescription drugs, you pay your rent bill, you pay your utility bill, you won't see any increase at all. So it is tailored to ensure that those folks who are on a fixed income or paycheck to paycheck, that they can actually avoid paying an increase in sales tax as they meet their daily needs, including fueling up their vehicle to get to work or to health care. They won't see an increase there either.
Yeah. Ongoing. This is going to be permanent, right? So this is for ongoing maintenance or new roads or both, or what?
It's a 10-year program, so Missourians will get to vote on it every 10 years. So if they don't see improvements, if they don't think MoDOT does a good job, if they don't think the projects that were promised get completed, they get a chance to vote on it again every 10 years. So it does sunset without a new vote of the people.
It is transportation. That includes roads. Does that also include light rail and trains and horse carriages and everything else?
Well, it's a sales tax, so it can be used for other things other than roads and bridges. And by area of the state, those local projects were picked by local leaders and citizens. So in the St. Louis area, there is some resources going to bus service. There's some improvements made on Metro. So while a great deal of it's going to our priority roads and bridges that need to be fixed or repaired, there are additional monies made available to meet those other transportation needs. And of course, in a state as diverse as ours, there are places in our state where we need improvements to the local airport or to the local river ports. All those are important to our economic development to make sure that people have jobs and our state is economically strong going into the future.
Lots of people talk about the gambling tax, and when that came into being, all of that was going to go to education. And great, all that money went into education. That allowed the legislature to take the money that was currently going into education and take it out. If this money goes into transportation, can the legislature take out the money already going to transportation?
That's a great point. No money goes to transportation in the legislature right now. It all stands appropriated. It goes directly to MoDOT, and these funds will be the same. They're guaranteed by the Constitution to go directly to the Department of Transportation. They cannot be diverted to other uses. And in fact, not only is there checks and balances to make sure that doesn't happen, if MoDOT doesn't do a good job, individual citizens, taxpayers have the ability to sue and ensure that the projects they are promised will have to be delivered under this program.
Lots of people, instead of a sales tax, people wanted a gas tax because it's more of a user tax. Talk about that for a moment.
Yeah, in 2002, actually, Missourians had a chance to vote on a gas tax increase, and they voted it down 3-1. The pump price today, I'm not sure, it's around $3.45, $3.55. Average Missourians actually don't want to see their gas prices go up, and unfortunately, doubling the gas price while it might be a good policy, is something that most Missourians actually don't support. Not to mention the gas tax revenue that we're getting right now is part of the reason why we need a different funding source. It continues to decline year after year as people buy more fuel-efficient vehicles. So while our transportation system gets older and our needs grow, our funding source declines. So it's really not a good funding source for our transportation system anymore.
What about the governor putting this ballot on this election as opposed to the general election come November? That makes it harder for you guys, and you can make an argument that more anti-tax people come out in this August election and more people more sympathetic to this would come out come November.
Well, ultimately, the voters get to decide. If Missourians want a solution for their roads and bridges, they want a better transportation, one that's safer, more efficient, and it's going to meet the needs of both Missourians today and in the future, we're confident they'll show up to the polls to vote yes.
If this tax is voted down, what's the gloom and doom scenario?
Well, most people drive every day. They know what the current situation. Our roads are getting worse. Our bridges are in really bad shape, and the unmet transportation needs that are vital to both our safety and our economic development, our state, are going to go unmet. And a state that doesn't have a good transportation system will not perform well economically. We're going to lose job opportunities, and we're going to endanger the safety of Missourians.
But if this passes. I drive on Highway 40. Highway 40 is still backed up every single place that it was backed up before it was rebuilt. If this tax goes forward, is this money going to go to shore up the bridges we already have, or is it going to go for more roads to create less congestion going forward?
Well, in places where there is congestion needs, I'm confident there will be improvements, but there aren't any new roads being built under this program. Obviously there are lanes being added where they're needed, or there's replacement where there's being needed. But Missouri already has 35,000 miles of road. In fact, one of the largest systems in the country. So we're not building any new roads. We're actually trying to get the ones we have either in the shape they should be, or to handle the traffic that's on them. So. And, of course, we're not building new bridges. We're replacing the over 10,000 bridges that we have.
That's Jewel Paddock, spokesperson for Missourians for Safe Transportation. Amendment 7 is on the ballot. What is that, a week and a half?
It's not very far away. That's correct.
How do you feel about passage? Are you confident? Are you nervous?
Well, I feel very good that we've had a chance to have a good round of communication with the voters, and they know what's in the ballot measure, and we're confident that if given a chance, they'll vote yes.
Jewel, good luck. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
828, Big 550, KTRS.
Summer is usually slow in the retail world. Not at Granite Busters.